If you're celebrating a special occasion or just love fine dining, you're in the right place. Come experience the crown jewel of South Point restaurants, Michael's Gourmet Room.
Welcome.
With over 600 different types of wines and magnificent dishes prepared tableside, you'll revel in the rich classic Vegas decor and the best black tie service in the world. This intimate gourmet room has earned accolades galore. Come to Michael's Gourmet Room for an unforgettable dining experience. Another famous restaurant is the Silverado Steakhouse, where you'll find the charm and service that discerning patrons require. From top quality steaks and chops to fresh seafood and desserts, you'll love the award-winning wine list and menu at Silverado Steakhouse. Steak lovers have even more options with primarily prime rib. Catering to hearty appetites, the menu features a variety of flavorful prime rib cuts, dry-aged to ensure tenderness, and then seasoned and slowly roasted. Although prime rib is our specialty, it's not the only thing on the menu. There's something for everyone.
Heading to Las Vegas to catch the action at Allegiant Stadium? Skip the traffic and the sky-high room rates of the Strip. Book your stay at the South Point Hotel, Casino, and Spa. The South Point is located just 7 miles away from the stadium, and it's a quick trip up the freeway, making it an affordable rideshare or taxi ride. And don't worry about getting here when you land in Vegas. We offer a convenient airport shuttle to get your getaway off to a stress-free start. Shuttles are also available on Raider game days for a small fee. So whether you're rooting for your team or seeing your favorite band in concert at Allegiant Stadium, South Point Hotel, Casino, and Spa is your ticket to all the excitement.
Ready to ramp up your excitement for playoff football? Join our hosts as they break down the matchups, key angles, and futures markets in the final episodes of Football Frenzy.
Seattle Seahawks get it done.
You look at these two teams and you say, wow, they did really well against quality opponents.
Brock Purdy to throw an interception tied up with the Seahawks in this game. I think that's a little bit of a correlation.
I would have given a huge ups to the Rams defensively. Not anymore.
Don't miss your chance to cash tickets and root for your favorite team. Stream Football Frenzy every Friday at noon Pacific.
All right, here we go, everybody. Happy Monday, happy February. It is officially the big game week here. Super Bowl 60 coming up in just 7 days this Sunday between the New England Patriots and the Seattle Seahawks. Thank you for joining. If you are watching our show live, thank you for watching. If you are checking out that replay here, this is Sports by the Book. We shoot live from the South Point Hotel and Casino 5 days a week. I'm Alex White alongside Ryan McCormick. We will be with you the next 5 days, and it is a busy, busy week. We've got great guests lined up. As I mentioned, happy Monday. I'm excited. We're going to talk about Super Bowl each and every day here, and Chris Andrews, sportsbook director here at the South Point, may join us. He's a very busy man and also still trying to get over that cold that has been going around in Las Vegas. So we'll see if we get him for the back half of today's show. Tomorrow, Katie Mox from CBS Sports HQ joins us. Wednesday, we get Matt Neverett. Let's see how he feels about the Patriots. That is his team. Thursday, Dwayne Colucci, as always. And then Friday, Football Frenzy at noon. It's going to be a very fun, packed show. We'll have a few bookmakers on the desk. Vinny Maiulo, Chris Andrews, as always, and Jay Cornegay, who used to be supervisor up at the Superbook, but still associated with them, definitely. All right, let's bring in Ryan. Sorry, Ryan, long intro there. Very exciting week. And so back half of the show, I've got a ton of props highlighted, circled, potential to make the portfolio. I'd like to start diving into that because now here at the South Point, the packet is complete, right? And they also have a nice little parlay card up.
Yeah, all 20 pages are out of the packet. The only thing we're waiting on is the cross-sport props, which will come out later this week. And then, yeah, as Alex just mentioned, we do have the parlay card available. You have a 4 on the spread on this, so you're only laying 4 with the Seahawks. Total at 46. And then we have first scoring play of each quarter. You can go rushing touchdown, passing touchdown, field goal, or any other score, no score. That'd be a safety or no score. And then first coach's challenge will occur in which quarter, which of the 4 quarters, total field goals, interceptions, fumbles lost, most points scored in first or second half. and then team to have the last possession of the first half. So 34 total bubbles to fill in. Well, I got 17 I don't want to count that right now. But yeah, we give plenty of options on that parlay card. And Alex mentioned, yeah, all the entire packet is complete. So you guys are more than welcome to come down to South Point, take advantage of the odds that are up and kind of in your favor, or whatever you think, however you think the game will play out. But to kind of recap what happened yesterday, and then we also gave you guys some posts to vote on over the weekend. I'll go there first. I'll go weekend posts. So we gave you Drake May prop play. Which way would you want to play a prop for Mr. May? Make your prop selection, so you can go to the description of our video and still vote on that if you haven't already, and leave a comment of which odds you would like to take. So we gave you Drake May first pass attempt, complete or incomplete. You're getting a plus 220 price if Drake May's first pass attempt is incomplete in the game. It also counts for an interception. But that is the next one. Which will Drake May throw first, a touchdown pass or an interception? You're getting plus 240 there on the interception. Total touchdown passes in the game by Drake May, over 1.5 or under 1.5. You're getting plus 120 for the over. And distance of his first touchdown pass, either over 9.5 yards or under 9.5 yards. But currently the leader in that post is Drake May touchdown passes. Whether it be over or under, we got 44% of the vote there currently going. We also gave you, or wanted your guys' prediction on the Gatorade color. We talked about that on Friday's Football Frenzy with Johnny Avello and Vinny Maiulo, talking about the Gatorade. So you guys can link that one is also over on our posts on YouTube. But comment your Gatorade dump prediction. And today's is talking about Sam Darnold. So similar to Drake May, gave you some quarterback props there for the Seahawks side. What will Sam Darnold throw first, a touchdown pass or an interception? You're getting plus 240 on that interception first. Sam Darnold total completions listed at 20.5 here at the South Point. Sam Darnold's gross passing yards is at 230.5 here at the South Point. And will Sam Darnold throw an interception in the game, period? Yes, minus 130. No, plus 110 there. So that one's also in the link of today's video. So after you make sure you're subscribed to the channel, enjoying everything that we have here to offer on Sports by the Book, you can go and vote in that post as well. And then talking about today's poll, we do want your guys' thoughts in the live chat. First things first, we are in the first day of the week leading up to Super Bowl Sunday. So your first prop play to kick off the week. So these are kind of first thing to happen in the game. So Patriots to score first in the game, you're getting a plus 105 price here at the South Point. Seahawks first to either punt or score. Punt, you're getting even money. Patriots to commit the first turnover in the game, you're getting plus 110 here at the South Point. And the first touchdown in the game, you're getting even money to go under 7.5 yards on the first touchdown of the game.
Very fitting that we have a ton going on there, both on the post and then for our live viewers on the poll, because there's hundreds and hundreds of prop bets for this big game coming up on Saturday. So please join us just for fun. Let us know which one you like, and we'll keep track and see how all of our listeners do next Sunday. If you are just joining us or new, or if I haven't done a very good proper introduction the last couple months, Ryan and I, if you're wondering, who are these two? What do they know about sports betting? We actually both have a lot of family roots here in this one. My grandpa moved to Vegas when my dad was in high school, right before high school, to become a full-time sports bettor. So I am a third-generation sports bettor. My dad then had a company working behind the counter, making the lines. First one out for about 30 years. Sold that company. Now he's on the other side, professional sports bettor. Pete White and Kenny White. Ryan, his dad, is the vice president of race and sports operations at Station Casinos. Yep. Mr. Jason McCormick. So we do fall into this, kind of born into this, right, Ryan?
Yeah.
I bring all that up just to kind of ask you, give me some fun traditions that your dad kind of brought to Super Bowl parties that you love, because I imagine that kind of really stemmed your love for sports, and it's the big game, one of the best days of the whole year. And when you have family members that can bring things to the house and the party, it really just makes it all the more special. So any favorite traditions for you that you guys did?
My dad didn't exactly get to enjoy Super Bowl Sunday at home. He was in the book and being busy, but every year he would come home with that prop packet that they had and basically brag about everything that he got to contribute to, and the ones that he got to formulate. And my dad absolutely loves Super Bowl Sunday and this prop packet, and you kind of get to see it in what Stations has to offer over there. But yeah, he's the exact reason I love sports the way I do. It was every single night there was a game on TV. Didn't matter if we had a rooting interest in the game because he had a rooting interest in the game. Whatever the book needed. My brother and I would ask what he was rooting for, even if it was a matchup of teams we didn't like. And so, sports have always been a part of my life, and so has gambling. So, you could talk about what my dad does now, but he's been bookmaking since he was in high school. So not necessarily doing things as he should have. But yeah, been doing it in this industry. Been doing it in Las Vegas since he moved here almost 30 years ago. Even worked under Johnny Avello at Bally's to kind of start his career here in Las Vegas. So it was a little bit of a full circle there having Johnny on the show on Friday.
That's so funny you say that about watching games and asking him, like, who do we got tonight? Because I remember that very clearly with my dad. And people always think it's crazy I don't have a team, but I mean, that is how I was raised. And it was always just what game was on and who we had that night. So we do share that in common. I will say there's one tradition that my dad brought to our family Super Bowls where he would make a bingo card with thousands of different options, right? And fill out the bingo card. And it was Drake May interception, Sam Darnold interception, third down conversion, fourth down conversion, successful, and all these things. And you'd sell them for $5 and everybody at the party would have one and just yelling as everything is happening and you're checking it off. So hopefully I can get that template and start doing that again. But it was pretty fun. One of my favorite things. This prop parlay card kind of reminded me of that. And ton of fun just to put a little money on and see how you do and kind of check off as everything is going, right? And but yeah, I'm very excited. It's going to be a fun week. We're going to try and find some winners for you. As I mentioned, we have a ton of guests to help us throughout the week kind of feel where they're at with the game and how they think this one is going to play out. Very fascinating stories on both sides. I mean, Mike McDonald calling the defensive plays on the Seahawks side. I don't know if it's ever happened that the head coach was calling the defense and won a Super Bowl. We'll have to check into that. And then on the other side with Mike Vrabel, right? Won a Super Bowl with this team as a player, now has a shot to win it as the head coach. So before we get to all of that or more of that, we are going to hit on hockey because we do still have a few more days here in the month of February where we have full slates. And as we go through the week, Ryan brought to my attention because tomorrow it's pretty crazy where a bunch of teams are going to be on 3 games in 4 nights, 4 games in 6 nights. So something that we definitely have to keep track of while we were pretty hot with hockey, cooled off a little bit. And I think that has to do with where these teams are mentally. Some players trying not to get injured before they go represent their country in the Olympics. So I think it makes it a little bit tough. But Ryan, Friday, you want to talk about your ROI from Friday and with all your hockey plays?
Yeah, so it was Thursday's show.
Thursday's show, that's
that we
right.
We had 15 NHL games that night, and Friday got to total up the whiteboard and was plus 959 on the whiteboard plays. So hopefully you guys tuned in on Thursday and followed some of those. Did have 3 plus prices, almost $2. Well, I guess there's a 194 on the parlay between the Lightning and Kraken. Kraken covered the puck line plus the 220. And then, again, that one wasn't necessarily on the whiteboard to end the show because it was on Alex's whiteboard. Didn't want to double it up there. But we got plus 295 on the Stars and Knights to go to overtime that night. And then a bunch of minuses. So we do have a loaded slate, as Alex mentioned today, 10 games, a bunch of teams either on the first of a back-to-back or, as she mentioned, we'll be playing 3 in 6 nights. Just to kind of recap what we saw yesterday, though, because we had 3 NHL games. Favorites went 3-0 straight up. No games had a puck line covered. Well, I guess the underdogs covered and all of those, but no favorites covered a puck line yesterday, and totals 2-1. Home teams went 3-0 straight up. They won the goal total 13-10. and the grand salami goes over 18.5. And if you played the over there, you got even money because 23 total goals is over 18.5. Talking the most fun game of the day, the outdoor game in Tampa Bay in Raymond James Stadium between the Boston Bruins and Tampa Bay Lightning. Tampa scored 11 seconds into the game. Boston then scored 5 unanswered, going up 5-1. Then we got a goalie fight, the second one in the last 2 weeks and the second one in the last 6 years. So that's awesome. And Tampa ends up completing the largest comeback, not just in outdoor game history, but in their own franchise history, coming back from down 5-1, 4 goals, and getting it done there in a shootout. So talking about growing the game, getting national television, being in a stadium filled with 60+ thousand people. Those fans that were there last night got everything they could have asked for. Goal immediately, huge lead, bunch of fights, a goalie fight, big comeback, extra hockey, shootout. The only thing that would have made it better for me is if the Bruins ended up holding on because I was on that side. But it was still a great game to watch.
Pretty wild that it was Jeremy Swayman and Vasilevsky's first career goalie fight. You're right. It was awesome. Everything worked out. And you forget, even the players walking in and what they were dressed as was fantastic. And then even Cooper.
Yeah.
Best fit for any head coach.
Yeah.
But so the Bruins came in as actually founding fathers, and then Tampa Bay full head to toe Buccaneers, right?
In shoulder pads, leg pads, everything. They were wearing the Tampa Bay Buccaneers creamsicle jerseys, getting off the bus. And then, you mentioned the Bruins all dressed up in 1770 military uniforms, Patriot armor. So paying respect to their football teams going into the football stadium. It was, you have to love when the teams fully buy into the goofiness of the event that they're going into. And then, you mentioned John Cooper wearing the white suit with the button down. It was yesterday. That game specifically was a whole lot of fun. For us Knights backers, though, not so much fun there in Southern California.
No, it wasn't. Another one where they come up short. Almost felt like they were going to force overtime, as they've done so many times. But, man, great third period team. But the first two have not been good for the Vegas Golden Knights. There was one player on Tampa Bay that did leave in the first period that makes me a little nervous. I can't remember, but supposed to be on Team Canada too. So that's kind of like what I was talking about, with a little bit of maybe hesitation from these guys playing this last week before get to represent their countries. But let's get into today's schedule and see if we've got any best bets. Try and keep it going here.
All right. We'll go up to Pittsburgh, the first of the 10 games, at least in rotation number order here. So we got the Senators on the road in Pittsburgh taking on the Penguins. The Senators are a road favorite, -120. Even money on the buyback for the Penguins here at the South Point. And then a total of 6.5 with a 115 to the under.
So Pittsburgh, first of a back-to-back. Looks like they're saving Skinner for tomorrow. So going backup goalie. And then I kind of missed this, but Olmark actually has one game under his belt now. Did play on the 31st. Played well enough, right? Did they get that win? It was 1-0. So he only, I think, I want to make sure I have this correct. But Olmark missed quite a lot of time. Last game was December 27th before the 31st. Stepped away for personal reasons. But, they won 1-0. So he was fantastic against the Devils. I think this is going to be a much tougher ask for him. Did I miss something there?
They won 4-1.
4-1. Thank you.
Mm-hmm.
4-1 against the Devils. This Penguins team has just been red hot. I mean, they come into this one winning 6 straight. They are on a nice little over trend at home, 4 straight overs for them. And the Senators have won 3 straight, but those were all at home as well. So I think I like the Pittsburgh side, Ryan. My numbers actually say over too, but that makes me a little bit nervous with Olmark coming back and him playing good. What do you think about this one?
So you mentioned the win streaks. Penguins winners of 6 straight, Senators winners of 3 straight. The Senators, all 3 of those wins are at home. They did lose the first of a 4-game homestand to Carolina, but they've covered the puck line in these 3 games that they have won against the Knights, against the Avalanche, and then against the Devils. They recovered reverse puck lines as underdogs against the Knights and the Avalanche, and then covered a puck line as a favorite against the Devils. The Penguins, you mentioned winners of 6 straight. They've been playing a little bit of tighter hockey. Beat the Rangers twice in tight games. They're also on the first of a back-to-back. They're against the Islanders, who they also played recently. So kind of we were riding the Penguins being high and playing really good hockey of late, the last really 2 weeks. But it seems like they're getting into much tighter games, getting a little bit more tired, about to head into this break. For some of these guys, several of these guys on this Penguin squad will be representing their countries. So they'll be playing, keeping their rhythm, but again, kind of getting the wear and tear. So I do think I'm on the opposite side. I do think I'm on the road favorite here, and the Sabres being able to get it done against the Penguins. The first meeting this year was also a 4-0 win by the Senators. So I do get that one. It was a couple months ago, but I do think the Senators have a little bit more fresh legs going into this matchup, and so I would think the right side here is with Ottawa.
You mentioned probably a tighter, close game. Look at the puck lines there.
Yeah.
Plus 1.5. You got to lay minus 250. So, yeah, I would not be surprised if this was a tight one. Maybe over 6.5. Maybe we could get there. Maybe we get even a little bit of extra hockey.
Yeah, I can look into that. We can go 3-3 into overtime. Get the over there at 7. Let's see. The draw in this one is 305.
Wow. I like it. I'm going to put that as a potential.
Okay. All right, going down to Florida, where the Sabres are taking on the Panthers. We've got the Panthers as a minus 115 home favorite, minus 105 on the Sabres, and a total of 6 with a 120 to the over.
So this one is interesting. The first time the Sabres shut out the Panthers at home, though, in Buffalo, 3-0. And then they lost to the Panthers at home, 4-3. That makes me add a little bit back here for Buffalo, going on the road, having a chance to beat the defending champions here in the Florida Panthers. And they're playing a lot better than Florida. 7-2-1 in their last 10. So not a huge play for me, not a strong conviction. But, I mean, they have won 4 straight road games, Buffalo too, coming into this one, where Florida has lost 3 straight. So just with that alone, Ryan, I'm definitely leaning to this road team.
Yeah, when it opened up, you can get plus 110, but it has been a lot of action here on the Sabres. That looks like the best plus price in the market remaining is a plus 102. There is an even money, but here at the South Point, it is a minus 105. It would be a lean, really a play on the Sabres here in this one. It is the first of a back-to-back for Buffalo. For both teams, it is the first of 3 games in 4 nights. Florida will be on a back-to-back Wednesday and Thursday before we get into the Olympic break. Buffalo is in Tampa tomorrow. So first of a back-to-back, they are 3-4 this year. And in the second of a back-to-back, they are 5-1-1. So much better once they've got the kind of rhythm under their feet. But you mentioned that they are playing really good hockey. And so that's why I would be looking at the Sabres here, especially with the Panthers on a 3-game losing streak. Although all 3 of those are only by 1 goal. So they are playing some tight hockey, tighter games, competitive to the end. But it would be a look at the Sabres here.
Okay, we got the same one for that. Both like the road team, but Buffalo.
All right, to our nation's capital, where the Islanders are taking on the Capitals. We got a minus 130 price for the Capitals. Capitals. Islanders getting plus 110 and a total of 6.5, 110 either way.
Pretty incredible. This has been all road, sweet road, right? The Caps won in New York 4-2, and then later in that month of October, Islanders won in Washington 3-1, and then the Caps won the last matchup 4-1. So covering the puck line, the road team was in those 2. Do the Islanders keep it going here, Ryan? I'm gonna just play the under here at 6.5 and Sounds a little crazy because the Capitals have gone to their third string goalie in Clay Stevenson, and his first start was against Carolina, but they found a way to win that one in overtime. Now we're going up against an Islanders team that is pretty defensive-minded, third best in goals against. They're 24th in scoring, though. I'm going to trust both teams, and it is going to be the backup goalie, David Rittich, for the Islanders. I'm going to trust the guys in front of the goalies to play tough in this one. So under 6.5 for me. I'm going to stay away from the side. What say you?
My side, I would be more inclined to take the Islanders here. I do get the winners that the Capitals are winners of back-to-back games, both of which went into overtime or a shootout. The Capitals have also played in overtime games in 3 of their last 4. They are in Philadelphia tomorrow, then back home before the Olympic break against the Predators. So 2 teams not necessarily playing that great as of late. I guess the Predators actually kind of are, but that also takes into account the opponents they've been playing. But anyway, Capitals, Islanders. The Islanders, you mentioned, we're kind of talking about a pre-show. The Islanders are playing a lot of, I think you said 6 in 9 nights going into the break, like once we get to Thursday. So could be a good amount of wear and tear. The Capitals are back home off of a road trip. So I do think the road team gets it done here again. That's 3 road teams for me to start the show. But funny enough, the road team covered the puck line in all 3. So a little bit of a reverse puck line here might be a good play. But I think the plus 110 here with the Islanders is good enough.
I think you made a great point there. And even though the Caps have won 2 games, they still don't look good. I mean, they had a win's a win, but they have not been pretty by any means. So I don't think that they're completely back. We know how streaky they are. Yeah,
and just the one at the forefront of my mind is the when I played the Red Wings the other night, and that one went to a shootout, and Lindgren got hurt in the game, left him in overtime to close overtime. With time expired, he hurts himself again. They leave him in for the shootout, and the Wings still can't win the shootout with shooting against a hurt goalie. So that one sitting fresh in my mind. I'll be going against the Capitals here again.
Getting a good plus 110 price.
Yep. All right, going up to Minnesota, where the Canadiens are taking on the Wild. The Canadiens are a plus 110 underdog. The Wild are a minus 135 favorite, and a total of 6.5, minus 110 either way.
I think all numbers look pretty good here in this one. So I really have nothing. The first game, which was not that long ago, January 20th, Montreal won 4-3. I think it's going to be a close game like that once again. I lean to the over at 6.5, but I'm just going to stay away from that one, especially because both of the goalies' numbers are really good going tonight. So I don't know. I'd also lean to the home team getting the win with them just playing so recently. I think the Wild could get this one, but that's it for me.
Both teams winners of 3 straight. But as we've seen in my top 10s the last couple of weeks, I do have a lot of respect for the Canadiens. So given them, both these teams have been in the top 10, but getting a plus price here with the Canadiens, I'll be taking it. So another road team that I like here tonight.
Ryan's got 4 road warriors right now. Let's see if I got a feeling you're not going to bet on this next one.
You are right. We got the St. Louis Blues and Nashville Predators. Predators are a minus 140 favorite at home, a plus 120 for the Blues, and a total of 6 with a minus 120 to the under.
We've actually gotten so far. I mean, Nashville has been playing pretty good, but I've got a minus 160 in this one at home against the Blues. I'm not going to lay it, though. I always talk about not laying points or a price with bad teams, but I mean, the Predators won 2 out of 3 in this matchup. The Blues won in St. Louis the last time, 3-2. I mean, the 2 games before that, Nashville outscored them 12-2 in 2 games. So they're the better team. They should get it done here tonight. And the Blues are one of the teams I have highlighted with a terrible losing streak because they have lost 8 straight road games coming into this one. Both of them have a little bit of an over streak where the Blues just in general 4 straight overs, the Predators at home 4 straight overs in home games. So I didn't get involved anything in this one yet. Anyways, how about you?
So the fourth of 4 meetings between these division rivals. All 3 of the prior ones were all within the month of December, though. So had one of those been more recently, like last month, I probably would have been able to make something out of it. But yeah, 2 bad teams. No, thank you. You good to move to the next one?
I am.
Okay, we'll go up to Chicago, where the Sharks are a road favorite here. Minus, actually, it's a pick'em here. They are favorites in the market, but it is a pick'em minus 110 either way in this game, and a total of 6, minus 120 to the over.
I think this might be one of my first Chicago Blackhawks games going with an over here. But I did make this a lot higher. A lot of that has to do with the San Jose Sharks and just the way that they play. I think they will force Chicago to pick up the pace here, and I do think that they can hang around with them. Chicago has lost 5 in a row, and their median numbers do not necessarily match this. But San Jose, 3 goals for, 4 goals against on the road. So I think Chicago is going to see some success offensively as well. Both of these 2 teams, San Jose's 28th in goals against, or 17th in goals for. Chicago 19th in goals against, so that's a 3.15 average. Kind of dropped off in the scoring department, 27th though in scoring, 2.64. But again, just the style of play. I like this over 6 here. I think the books could have put out a 6.5, definitely.
So you mentioned Hawks, losers of 5 straight. They've either lost by the puck line or lost in a shootout in those 5. The Sharks are losers of back-to-back games, both by 1 goal. And it is the 4th of a 5-game road trip to go into the break. They are in Colorado on Wednesday. But this one will feature 2 of the last 3
That's right.
number 1 overall picks, Macklin Celebrini versus Connor Bedard. I do have family in Chicago, and they were at an event last night in which several Blackhawks players were doing an autograph event, including some alumni. So not necessarily saying they're distracted, but Connor Bedard was not part of that group. It was Frank Nazar, Connor Murphy, Colton Dock, and Kaiser. I almost forgot that one. Anyway, so not saying that plays into account, but I would be taking the Sharks here. I do think it is short, minus a 110. I just think that they're obviously a better hockey team right now. They're in playoff position. They've been playing tighter games. The Hawks haven't really looked competitive. You mentioned their struggles on offense. The Sharks aren't necessarily struggling on offense. So I'll more than likely be fading my team on the puck line, getting a plus 220 there.
I will say I did make it minus 124 for San Jose on the road here. So just to echo what you said, minus 110 is a little short, I would say.
All right, going down to Dallas, where the Jets are getting plus 125 on their buyback. Stars are a minus 145 favorite and a 5.5 with a 115 to the over.
Diving into this one, so the Stars have kind of owned Winnipeg. They've won the first 2 meetings this year. I shouldn't say owned because they are actually tight games. They won by 1. But both of them in Winnipeg, 4-3 and 5-4. But looking back at last year's playoff games, where Hellebuck was fantastic at home. He had 2 shutout wins against Dallas, and then lost every road game to the Stars. Now they're back in Dallas. I'm gonna bet against Hellebuck here in this tough spot. So I like the Stars minus 145. I think that's a pretty cheap price. I think they could be closer to how Edmonton, Edmonton or Carolina is usually priced in these games against teams that are not playing great hockey, but they're only $1.40. So I like the Stars here in this one.
I am right there with you. Connor Hellebuck, they've lost 5 of his last 6 starts. And then you kind of bring up the prior meetings. It is the 3rd of 4 this season between these 2. Stars, as you mentioned, won both in Winnipeg. They did end as 1-goal games, but the Stars had at least a 3-goal lead in both games in the road barn. So I would think the Stars kind of getting their legs back, going into the break, wanting to be hot against a team that is really struggling so far this year. I think this one's priced right, but I'm still comfortable laying that minus 145 there with the Stars.
I agree. I'd probably put a little bit on the puck line. So get that plus 175. Small pizza money bet there as well.
All right. Going to Colorado, where the Detroit Red Wings and Avalanche are playing the second of a home and home. These two teams just played on Saturday in Detroit, but we have a minus $2 favorite for the Avalanche here in their home barn and a plus 175 buyback for the Red Wings, a total of 6.5 with a 120 to the under.
I mean, a pretty shocking result, right? In that one where Colorado shut out the Red Wings. Is that the most recent?
Yes. Yep. 5-0 win.
After they were struggling, and we were betting on them last week, and they couldn't put it together. Now they flipped the home-to-home thing, so I kind of am looking at Detroit here. I don't know if that's enough for me to get involved, but it's a lean to the dog and kind of lean into that over there. I mean, we didn't have one team contribute in the last matchup and still had 5 goals, so if we can get goals from both sides, I do lean to over 6.5 in this one as well.
I genuinely don't think that 5-0 game was a genuine reflection of how things played out. The Red Wings just couldn't get past Mackenzie Blackwood. They outshot the Avalanche. They outhit the Avalanche. They won more faceoffs. They had more takeaways, less giveaways. They just couldn't beat Mackenzie Blackwood. So I won't want to bet against the Avalanche at home for them. But I would more so be thinking that, we'll get goals in this game and getting even money there.
Like we always say in most sports, a little bit of a regression to the mean. They do have to see Mackenzie Blackwood again.
Yeah.
But will they have a couple bounces go their way this time?
I'd like to think so, but we'll see. All right, going over to Utah, where the Canucks are taking on the Mammoth. We have the Mammoth as a minus 260 home favorite, the largest favorite on the board, a plus 220 for the Canucks, and a total of 6.5 with a 115 to the under.
I can't lay that big of a price here with Utah. I mean, I do have a minus 210, but you're getting better on the other side, plus 220 with Vancouver. But fair warning, they have lost 6 straight road games coming into this one. I don't know. It would be a connects or pass, but I'm probably not gonna get involved in that one.
I will not be getting involved in this one. There is a line of $3 favorite for the Mammoth. So only laying a 260 if you want to do the money line, tie it up with something else isn't terrible. But yeah, I do think the better value play would be with the Canucks, but they are the worst team in hockey. So I wouldn't exactly advise anyone to do that.
What are we seeing? Is it going to be Vejmelka or is it going to be Vanacek? Because that might be something you want to keep an eye on. Because one, RotoWire has Vejmelka, who's been fantastic. Goalie Post has Vanacek, whose record is actually 3-9-2.
Mm-hmm.
So maybe watch out for that. And if you're brave enough, I want to jump in with Vancouver if he is starting that one.
Yeah.
All right, last but not least.
All right, final game of the night, across the border in Calgary, going Maple Leafs as a minus 115 road favorite and a minus 105 for the Flames, a total of 6.5 with a minus 120 to the under.
I've really got nothing in this one, Ryan. I've got Calgary minus 101, so not enough for me to play it with them. I've got 6.5. Juice to the under here a little bit. It's tough because Calgary right now is 32nd in goals per game, and Toronto's been struggling on the other side because they are 29th in goals against. So something's got to give here. Is Calgary going to find the back of the net, or is Toronto going to look much better defensively here in this one? So nothing for me. What about you?
Both teams coming off of a 3-2 win, which ended a 6-game losing streak for Toronto and a 5-game losing streak for Calgary. Toronto's went to overtime and they managed to get it done 3-2. It would be a look to Calgary at home, but I mean, you kind of explained how bad they've been on offense this year, so wouldn't exactly trust them.
We've seen this. We've seen the spurts though from them, right?
Very
I
true.
mean, and they're at home. I will say too, I don't fault any of these sites because of how many games they have this week and back-to-backs and all of this, trying to figure out which goalie. But it's completely opposite on these two, where it looks like it is going to be Dustin Wolf. He's confirmed on one, but Devin Cooley is probable on the other one. If it's Cooley, we've talked about how good his numbers are. I mean, he's leading the league right now. He's got 15 starts, and he's got the best save percentage and the best goals against. So that could help us get there with the home team in Calgary. Potentially.
The Calgary is where I'd be leaning to, but don't think I'll end up actually playing it.
Yeah, I think there's some better bets on the board that we will release here by the end of the show.
Yep.
All right, let's take a quick break. When we get back, we'll check in with the chat, go over any other program notes for the whole week, and then let's dive into some prop bets. I've already got a ton highlighted here. I've got a whole sheet marked down of potentials, but I want to get your thoughts, Ryan, before I actually fire on any of these prop bets here. So don't go anywhere. We're going to talk Super Bowl 60 props on the other side.
We have 11 amazing restaurants featuring a wide variety for every price range and appetite. South Point's Garden Buffet has something for everyone at unbeatable prices. Or if hunger strikes in the middle of the night, join us at Coronado Cafe. The American menu offers breakfast, lunch, or dinner 24 hours a day, plus a Chinese kitchen for authentic Chinese dishes from 11 a.m. to 11 p.m. From steak and eggs to wonton soup, it's fast and friendly service 24/7. When you need a quick pick-me-up, you can find it at our state-of-the-art Starbucks just inside the main South Point entrance. Order ahead with the Starbucks app for easy mobile order pickups. Or enjoy your favorites in the relaxing dining area anytime, day or night. If you love Mexican food, Baja Miguel's has all of your south of the border favorites. There are dozens of classics to choose from, like fajitas, ceviche, chimichangas, tacos, and more. And for spirit lovers, Baja's colorful non-smoking tequila bar is right outside. South Point Casino has plenty of attractions for the whole family. Catch a movie. Our 16-screen movie theater includes 2 XD Extreme screens for the ultimate in viewing, sound, and luxury. After the show, treat the family to a variety of treats at our old-fashioned ice cream parlor, Kate's Corner. We scoop up a variety of creamy concoctions, including smoothies, hand-dipped cones, milkshakes, malts, sodas, and sundaes. At Kate's, there's something for everyone. And if you've still got time to spare, our bowling center might be right up your alley. Voted Best of Las Vegas, it's a great place for friends and family fun. 64 lanes, a pro shop, snack bar, and arcade. And while the kids are bowling, you can play slots and sip on a drink in the Alley Cat Lounge while overlooking the lanes. For our more serious and professional bowlers, the South Point is also home to a separate tournament bowling plaza. If you're celebrating a special occasion or just love fine dining, you're in the right place. Come experience the crown jewel of South Point restaurants, Michael's Gourmet Room.
Welcome.
With over 600 different types of wines and magnificent dishes prepared tableside, you'll revel in the rich classic Vegas decor and the best black tie service in the world. This intimate gourmet room has earned accolades galore. Come to Michael's Gourmet Room for an unforgettable dining experience. Another famous restaurant is the Silverado Steakhouse, where you'll find the charm and service that discerning patrons require. From top quality steaks and chops to fresh seafood and desserts, you'll love the award-winning wine list and menu at Silverado Steakhouse. Steak lovers have even more options with primarily prime rib. Catering to hearty appetites, the menu features a variety of flavorful prime rib cuts, dry aged to ensure tenderness, and then seasoned and slowly roasted. Although prime rib is our specialty, it's not the only thing on the menu. There's something for everyone.
Here we go. We are back here on Sports by the Book, live from the South Point Hotel and Casino. Alex White alongside Ryan McCormick. Ryan, let's intro our ticker trivia coming up here. If people want to jump in and try and get the correct answer. And then let's dive into Super Bowl 60. I want to start from the traditional end where South Point continues to be at 5, but we'll talk about the side and total here after you preview ticker trivia.
Well, ticker trivia does talk about our Super Bowl quarterbacks in this year's Super Bowl, but it is written this weekend's, well, first, ticker trivia presented by City Light Shine, available at Total Wine, Lee's Discount Liquor, and here at the South Point Hotel and Casino. But now it is written as this weekend's upcoming Super Bowl. We'll see the matchup between quarterbacks Sam Darnold for the Seahawks and Drake May for the Patriots. Considering the 2025-26 regular season, what is the total combined passing yards between those two quarterbacks? So we'll give you guys an opportunity to submit your answers in our live chat and give you a special shout out when you get it right. So again, ticker trivia presented by City Light Shine, talking about this year's Super Bowl.
See, I don't know who always says it, but they always say your trivia questions, you and Vince's, are tougher than the SATs. But that one, we're giving you a shot here because that is from this year.
You do got to do some math.
Do you have to do some math? But and probably Google it really quick, but I like it. Checking in with the chat, I saw Dean Hill throw in a prop that he likes and definitely caught my eye already. Drake May, under 51 passing yards in the first quarter. Very interesting because let me get your thoughts here. So right now we're sitting at 5, Seattle. 50 or 45.5 is the total here. We're seeing that start to drop. A lot of 45s out there now. Most places are still at 4.5. It looks like just the Westgate is at 5 with Chris here for the Seahawks. Where are you at right now? I know last week you had a heavy lean to the over. And I don't know if you actually officially said sidewise. I think you liked Seattle to win the game, but I don't know if you were interested in taking the points. Where are you right now that we are 7 days out?
I am still in the boat that I do think Seattle is the right side, but I do think the Patriots coaching staff will have them fully prepared for this game. So spread-wise, it would be more so a look at Patriots first half to cover the spread, making sure it's a close game at halftime, and then things might take a turn in the second half because I do think the second half / overtime will be the half with the most scoring. So.
It's funny. I actually did some research on that for you, Ryan. The last 15 Super Bowls, I've got a number for you. It is 8, 6, and 1. One of them was exactly the same for first and second half there. So 8 for your side. Second half's in overtime. 8, 6, and 1. I was pretty surprised that there was 6, actually, that the first half was higher scoring. And we do have that available here at the South Point. So are you think you're going more props even? Okay, wait. Let me rewind. You talked about the first half. That number scares me because why has it not gotten off of the 3?
Right.
Where you are getting 3 points with New England in the first half. You would think if the Sharps were on it, we'd be down to 2.5 already.
Yeah.
So I don't know why. I continue to look. Okay, what do we have first half? Both total inside, and it's just 3s everywhere.
No, I mean, you make a good point. And we talked about it all year. We talked about it in years past. Then 3 is obviously a very key number. And when Sharps take it, it moves to 2.5. When Sharps lay it, it goes to a 3.5. So for it to stay stagnant for the biggest game of the year, could be telling, or it could be that they're getting two-way action.
True.
So I fully think the Patriots are going to be ready for this game. It's just once fatigue might set in, or things kind of open up a little bit, that it might take a turn. So.
And I mean, the Patriots could very well be leading after the first half.
True.
And I think we both are in agreement that Seattle is the better team, and they've been the better team for majority of the year, but could be a nice second half comeback for them to win that. So I do not hate that at all. First half looks like we're at 22.5 total wise. I do like that under. I think I'm getting sold on a low scoring Super Bowl here between these two. The only thing that scares me is if there was a shot for a blowout here, then I think that we could get a lot of points. But I do think New England's defense is pretty for real. I think what they have done in the playoffs here in their first 3 games. So I think that they can slow down the Seattle offense at least a little bit. But I'm still leaning towards that side there. Yes.
The only thing that scares me off the total is the potential for the defenses to score in this game. That we have playmakers all over the field on offense and defense and special teams in this game. So, I mean, if special teams alone not being a factor, which obviously favors the Seahawks, but if defenses couldn't score, I would be more inclined to take in the under. But the fact that we have that potential,
it's true. Yes.
Yeah.
Don't they have a combined 5 kickoff or punt return for touchdown this year?
I believe that is because the Seahawks have 4 of them.
I thought Seahawks had 3 and New England had 2.
Oh, okay.
Maybe not. I don't know. We'll have to double check that. Okay, so let's dive into some of these. You do like second half, which has been fairly consistent the last 15 years here. 8. That's a pretty good number there. 8 of 15, where one of them was a push 2. There's another one I want to ask you about, and that is, and I didn't find it here yet, but you can bet on each quarterback, and it is, will their first pass be a completion or an incompletion? Mm-hmm. The incompletion's always a pretty good plus price at like 2-1. And I remember this prop from years ago, and that now digging into it, it makes sense because for 15 years straight, from 2010 to 2020, 2019, at least one of the 2 quarterbacks threw an incompletion. So if you took them both to throw an incompletion, you're usually cashing one of the 2. There was one year where both of them cashed, and that was Brady and Jared Goff. Everybody remembers how that Super Bowl ended up. Was it 13-3 or 13-3? Now, the last 5 years, though, Ryan, it's been all completions. Brady and Mahomes, Stafford and Burrow, Mahomes and Hurts, Mahomes and Purdy, and Patrick Mahomes and Jalen Hurts. Again, both completions. Is that a change in how the offensive coordinators are setting up their quarterbacks? Trying to, shake off the nerves, give them a... What do you think? Or do you think that is the names I just mentioned? Mahomes, Stafford, Burrow, Brady, and Hurts.
I think it kind of takes into account kind of everything. It just encompasses. I mean, we've kind of gotten used to Jalen Hurts not throwing the ball down the field the last couple of years. But yeah, you talk about getting your quarterback into rhythm, making sure they get their confidence, and don't watch a ball go into the ground on their first pass attempt and look up at an 0-1 or 0-2 and have things spiral until they get their first completion. So I do think it kind of plays into account of, you get the guys' confidence up, you get the guys to kind of ease into the game, but you also don't take the big shot to start the game. You're not necessarily throwing the ball 15, 20 plus yards down the field right off the bat, and might just be looking at most an 8-yard route and hoping for yards after catch on your first throw. But
yep. And that is what they really were.
So
for all the completions.
I mean, yeah, you're still getting a plus 220 price on either quarterback to throw an incompletion first, and kind of playing it. You just need one to throw an incompletion, and you're up plus 120 to start the game, or on the first pass attempts for both quarterbacks. So I don't hate it, but I mean, you kind of ran through it, and it would be an interesting thing to root for to start the game.
Yes. Not exactly what you want to be rooting for, right? Cheering against success here for these guys. But I just feel like it's a different spot for both of these quarterbacks that they have not been in yet. Drake May, second-year quarterback. Sam Darnold, we know his story by this time. All right, let's go to some of the other ones. We're going to page 3 here of the South Point, and we might have talked about some of these. I'm curious where you are, Ryan. I know you like the sacks for Seattle. How about combined sacks over 5.5 plus 120? Did that interest you at all, or were you just going straight Seattle side?
No, I don't hate that. You're getting a chance for both teams to contribute to that number, and you're getting a plus price there. I was just, looking at Seattle to being able to get it done by themselves, getting 4 sacks and still getting a plus price there, and not necessarily relying on the Patriots to contribute and get after Sam Darnold, who doesn't necessarily take a whole lot of sacks this year, and also kind of playing into account that Drake May has taken 5 sacks in each of the last 3 games,
right?
All of which versus top defenses in the league, and not necessarily getting to get the ball out. And we've kind of seen Will Campbell coming back from injury, not being as good as he was to start the year. So definitely thinking the Seahawks will be able to get after Drake May. It's just a matter of, will the Patriots be able to get after Sam Darnold or get there in time to bring him down? But a plus price for a chance for both to contribute. I don't hate it. I'm just more inclined to taking that Seahawks number. But the Seahawks might even do that themselves. So
that's true. But that number is moving. Open plus 120 on the over. It is now plus 105. This is what we're telling you about. If you're liking overs or you see a good plus price, you got to bet it early because it's definitely going to move quickly. What about that prop rate under total interceptions by both teams? Under 1.5 is minus 150. Over 1.5 is plus 130.
Yeah, this is one I talked about on Friday that I like the over, getting a plus 130 price there. You're laying a minus 130, 135 for 130 for Sam Darnold to throw an interception, 135 for Drake May to throw an interception. So you're telling me if both of them throw an interception, it's a plus 130, or if one of them throws 2, getting a plus 130. So I like the interception by both teams over that 1.5.
It is so crazy how much has changed, because when I was doing that research looking for first and second halves and also looking for the completion going through every single game, Tom Brady and Russell Wilson in that Super Bowl 49 that we've talked about a lot. Brady had 4 passing touchdowns and 2 INTs in that game. Russell Wilson also had a pick in that one. So quarterback play has dropped a little bit, right? And you say, well, they had picks, but they would take shots with these guys, right? And now we're way more conservative, and it's all about the run game. And we've talked about the last couple of years where they've gone really run heavy. But that was 3. We would have got there easy with those 2. Yeah. So I do like that one as well. Probably be adding that. And looks like we're getting some action on the other side with the under, because that is actually, you're getting plus 130 now.
Also, the kind of the way things are kind of maybe promoting it on social media right now is that Kenneth Walker is going to struggle running the ball in this game. So if the Seahawks struggle running the ball in the game, and they're going to have to trust Sam Darnold, the Patriots don't load the box. And so Sam Darnold will be throwing into coverage, not necessarily one-on-one coverage a whole lot. So could be playing, could have some guys in his way. And then talking about Drake May, who's thrown interceptions in 3 straight, really turned the ball over a ton. But also having to go against that defense and Travion Henderson not necessarily doing a lot to contribute to that running game. So that play is also looking at both running games to possibly struggle, and the quarterbacks be the guys to lead them through in this one.
You kind of set me up for my next little bit here about Kenneth Walker, because I don't know if I am buying that he is not going to hit his rushing yards. I'm going to wait, because there is a lot of sharp money on his under for rushing yards. I'm going to wait and see if I can get a much better number, where usually it's the opposite, right? If you're betting overs, you want to be early, but everybody's betting that under. I think I like his combined rushing and receiving even better because it's upticked so much. In the last 5 games, his median is 113 between the two, rushing and receiving there. But going back and looking at the Patriots' run defense, because that has been the big story here, in all 3 playoff games, they faced offenses that were pretty much already one-dimensional, and they saw 3 running backs that were rookies. We know J.K. Dobbins was out, so it was just R.J. Harvey. Woody Marks is a rookie, and then the week before that, we know it has been a struggle there for the Chargers, and when Hampton got hurt, they never really figured out their run game again, and they had their left tackle issues throughout the year. Week 18, yeah, they shut down Miami's run game, but Devon Achane was out in that one. So the entire team combined for 63 total rushing yards. He's one of the best running backs in the league. He did not play. The 3 weeks before that, Breece Hall had 111 rushing yards, 7.9 yards per carry on 14 carries. Derrick Henry had 128 rushing yards, 7.1. And then the week before that, James Cook went for 107 on 22 carries, and he had 2 touchdowns in that one. So I don't know if I'm fully buying that their run defense is so good. I think it has more to do with the personnel. I would put Kenneth Walker in the categories with Breece Hall, Derrick Henry, and James Cook rather than Woody Marks and R.J. Harvey. So I'm going to wait. I don't know if I fully believe this, but I do like his receiving yards. I've already bet over on Kenneth Walker's receiving yards. So maybe it's just looking for the combined and trying to get over 100, no matter how he does it, rushing or receiving.
Yeah, no, I don't hate that whatsoever. And kind of not having Zach Charbonnet only adds to what Kenneth Walker is going to have to do in this game. And I think he'll be just fine. So I don't disagree with you whatsoever.
Last one I need your opinion on, but I think you might not like this one regardless. Because if you like points and you are kind of banking on maybe some defensive and special teams as well, will at least one quarter be scoreless? The yes is 3-1. Did not see it last year. We saw it the year before with the Chiefs and the Niners. It was actually the first quarter that was scoreless in that one. It's happened 10 of the 59 Super Bowls. So that's really only like a 17% chance, Ryan. I don't know if 3-1's enough. I actually think it should be closer to 450. But I still, if I'm liking a lower scoring first half at least, maybe, playing conservative, feeling it out, trying to get both run games going, I could definitely see this one.
For this one, I think you have to, well, not necessarily you have to, but in my mind, it would be more happening in the first quarter.
Yes.
Because you're either relying on teams to trade punts later in the game or one team to control over half of a quarter on one drive. But even so, you're doing that. You're hoping that it's the back half of the quarter, because if they are taking up so much of the clock in one, you're either hoping for a turnover or a missed field goal or something that doesn't result in points there. So I mean, yeah, you're relying on punts. You're relying on defense to make stops together, force turnovers together. I won't be playing that one. But if you are on the under and you like the under, I don't hate it, but you kind of talked about how it's not necessarily worth it at this 3-1.
And I think it kind of depends on, what matchup we have per Super Bowl. But yeah, I would like a little bit more on that one with an only 18% shot that we have seen it happen at. Okay, that's it for me. Do you want to talk about any else that jumped out to you in our packet or that you are looking at? Starting tomorrow, we'll start giving official prop plays, maybe adding 1 or 2 a day.
So I'd kind of mentioned it a little bit on Friday. It was whether or not the first touchdown of the game would be a passing touchdown or any other touchdown, and I was taking the plus price with the any other touchdown. And it also kind of leads me into, will the Patriots score a rushing touchdown in the first half? Will the Seahawks score a rushing touchdown in the first half? You're getting a plus price with both of them. You're getting a plus 120 for the Seahawks to score a rushing touchdown in the first half, and you're getting a plus 175 for the Patriots to score a rushing touchdown in the first half. And I will make the same point that I made on Friday with any other touchdown being the first touchdown, not a passing touchdown. Your first touchdown scorers are both running backs, are Ramondre Stevenson and Kenneth Walker. So thinking that they're going to be the first scores of the game for either side, that in my mind would be in the first half. So plus prices there, plus 120, plus 175 for the Patriots and Seahawks, or Seahawks and Patriots, 120 for Seahawks, plus 175 for the Patriots. I do like those rushing touchdowns in the first half.
That one definitely caught my eye as well, because I was pretty surprised to see that plus price. I mean, that's a pretty big plus price there for New England too. That one really juicy. So I like it. First half, looking at rushing touchdowns. Now the whole narrative has been these are two of the best run defenses. So maybe that kind of plays into it. And I mean, the Patriots have been pretty good with the big plays, right? The explosives. So that's kind of how they found success. We saw it against Houston, a couple of those, but I don't know. I cannot fault you there. And we'll have to dive into that one even more, getting that first half rushing touchdown at a plus price like that.
And I fully expect that the playmakers on both sides of the ball are going to be able to make plays, and we'll get some chunk plays down the field via the air game. But I do think that the tackles will be made. Not immediately, but before they cross the goal line. And then we get goal-to-goal scenarios. This kind of leads to, will the Seahawks throw from the 1 yard line? I would like to think no. I would like to think that they hand it off at least for 2 attempts of 4 if they get those 4 from the 1 yard line. But yeah, I'm thinking we're going to get rushing touchdowns.
Well, and I like the fact that we just saw Drake May run one in. So then you got him too.
Yep.
From that side. So I'm with you there. It looks like we had a pretty convincing win for our first prop of the week with our poll.
Yeah.
Almost 50%.
Yep. So first things first, your first prop play to kick off Super Bowl weekend or Super Bowl week. We gave you a first touchdown in the game under 7.5 yards, getting even money. The Patriots to score first in the game, getting plus 105. The Seahawks to punt before they do anything else in the game, even money there. And then the Patriots to commit the first turnover of the game, getting a plus 110 price. And that's where 48% of our viewers went, was with the Patriots turning the ball over first in the game.
And I think that's just priced on the fact that Sam Darnold did lead the lead in interceptions throughout the year, right?
Yep.
So, but that one jumped out to me too. Because I think at this point in the season, it's pretty much a pick 'em, right? Could see it happening to either side with a turnover. But we are thinking that with the inexperience, the 2 rookies on the offensive line for New England, that we might get a forced fumble here even.
Yeah. And the first turnover of the game to be a fumble, you're getting even money. First turnover of the game for the interception is a minus 120. I more so think it'll be at the arms of the quarterback. None of the running. Well, I guess you can get a receiver to fumble the ball as well. But unless we get a bad snap or something like that and have that kind of fumble, I would think it's going to be more through the arms of the quarterbacks making the first turnover of the game.
I agree. And kind of looking at that too, where we're looking at over 1.5 interceptions too, could happen early in the game. And you went over, some of the best numbers there with Seattle. And their whole mantra is 11 as 1, or, and they've picked up Sam Darnold a few times this year. Like, they're no stranger to him throwing a pick and then kind of, okay, let's figure it out. Their defense steps up and usually plays better, except for against the Rams in that first game. But All right. I think that's it for us. Let's go over ticker trivia. The correct answer. Let's give out our whiteboard plays, and then we'll be back tomorrow at 10 a.m. And we have a special guest second half of the show, Katie Mox from CBS Sports HQ. But to wrap up today's show, Ryan.
Ticker trivia presented by City Light Shine, available at Lee's Discount Liquor, Total Wine, and here at the South Point Hotel and Casino. Football question, Super Bowl 60 question for you guys. This weekend's upcoming Super Bowl will feature quarterbacks of Sam Darnold for the Seattle Seahawks and Drake May for the New England Patriots. Considering just the 25-26 regular season, what is the total combined passing yards for those two quarterbacks? And your answer, as revealed by JR in our live chat, for the 25-26 regular season, Sam Darnold and Drake May combined for 8,442 yards gained by passing. It is significantly up from the regular season combined yardage from last year's Super Bowl quarterbacks, which Jalen Hurts and Patrick Mahomes combined for 6,831 yards via air game in that season. So again, JR spots today's ticker trivia answer presented by City Light Shine of 8,442 combined passing yards.
That is fantastic. Comparing it to last year, too, which we know both of those guys are kind of dual threat, especially Jalen Hurts. So no surprise there that it is a significant difference. I really want to dive in tonight. I'm going to dive into quarterback props and look at their passing attempts, passing yards, all of that. Really looking at media numbers, but feels like there's got to be some good ones out there we can jump in on. Okay, I will kick it off on this Monday, and then I will throw it to Ryan. I'm taking Buffalo off. I don't know why I'm nervous about Florida. On this Monday, February 2nd. Am I right? Yes, it is.
2-2.
2-2. I've got 3. I'm going with an under here. Could be scary, but I really don't trust the Islanders to score too much here. So Islanders, Washington, under 6.5. Stevenson played good for the Capitals, stepping in for Lindgren and Logan Thompson. So I think he can do it again here in this one. I think that's too high. Chicago and San Jose, I'm going over that 6. And then Dallas Stars, minus 145 on the money line against Winnipeg at home. And I also like them on the puck line a little bit, minus 1.5 at a good plus price there. Ryan, how many hockey are you looking at today in our 10-game slate?
I've got 5 money lines. Majority road teams. We got the Ottawa Senators in Pittsburgh, laying a minus 115 price. You're also getting over $3 for that game to go to overtime. But I don't want to necessarily have to create the exact scenario of Ottawa winning in overtime. So I'll just go with Ottawa winning. Buffalo, money line, minus 105 in Florida. I'll trust it. I'll think the Sabres will get it done. Islanders, money line, plus 110 in Washington against the Capitals. That one, you're also getting $3 to go to overtime there, but same thing. Don't want to create the perfect scenario. So Islanders, money line, plus price. Canadians, money line, plus price, plus 110. Same exact pricing as this. These two games priced the exact same if you want to take the favorite. I'm going with the underdog. Plus 110 there in Minnesota. And then the Dallas Stars, money line, minus 145, hosting the Winnipeg Jets. So 3 underdogs. That one is still a minus price. 2 plus prices, and 1 favorite there. The Stars, minus the 145. If you want to tie that one up with the big favorite in the Avalanche, again, I'm not going to do it. I don't want to tie that two big favorites up. Otherwise, I'll have to tie the underdogs up because that's what's worked the last couple of times we tried it. But
that's true. All right, Ryan's going heavy sides. I got more on the totals there, but I am going to add 1 prop just because we were talking about how that has moved. So I'm going to go over 5.5 combined sacks for plus 105. So add that to my portfolio right now. Friday, the only one I gave out was defensive or special teams touchdown, anytime touchdown. Now I'm going to add this on there as well. Brian gave out Seattle over their sacks. And any other ones on Friday?
It was Seattle sacks, and then the first touchdown of the game being any other touchdown, right, not a passing touchdown. And then, interceptions, the over 1.5.
That's right. Yes. Oh, I need to add that too. Here soon. Maybe it'll be tomorrow's. All right. Join us tomorrow. We'll get Katie Mox's thoughts on the big game. She's a Niners fan. We'll have to see how she feels about Seattle playing in their building. But looking forward to that. We'll talk side total and, of course, props with her. Thank you, everybody, for joining us live. If you haven't already, please make sure that you subscribe to the YouTube channel. If you're just finding us for the first time, thank you. 5 days a week, Sports by the Book, Monday through Thursday, 10 a.m. Fridays is the Football Frenzy at noon. This will be our last Football Frenzy of the year. Make sure you bookmark it now. Noon Pacific time, Vegas time, that is, with Ryan, myself, and all the bookmakers to break down Super Bowl 60. Thank you to the crew, as always, and Jerry, Sean, Vince, and Andrew. All right, Ryan, let's hit some winners. Let's keep it going here on the ice. And then we'll be back tomorrow, Tuesday, 10 a.m. here on Sports by the Book. Thanks for watching, everybody. Cash some tickets.